Hey everyone! Welcome back to a new r/malicious compliance video. I hope you had a great day. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that button. It really helps the channel. The first story is called Had They Just Paid Attention. Between freshman and sophomore year in college, I worked at a scaffolding factory for my summer break. When I was hired, I got $7 per hour, with an agreement that if I worked hard and demonstrated my worth, I would get a raise to $8.50 an hour after 1 month. So I worked ridiculously hard for that first month. I took over running the assembly and packaging department and figured out a way to increase the output of the factory by 30% with no additional cost. We cut our backlog significantly, which also helped increase sales. Our competitors had much longer delivery times. The changes weren't rocket science, but the general manager was too lazy to take the time to understand how I did it. 1 month in, I present my case and ask for a raise. I was denied, despite never being late, and the acknowledgement that I worked hard and increased output and sales. During the ensuing argument, the GM told me, "I don't pay you to think." I immediately walked out. The next morning, the GM tried to hand off the orders to be filled for the day. But I refused and told him he had to tell me exactly what to do. He rolled his eyes and told me to build boxes, the first of many steps, and walked away. 4 hours later, he came back out and saw I hadn't stopped building boxes. He looked at the multiple stacks stretching to the ceiling and started yelling at me, including the phrase, "Use your brain." I calmly responded, "You don't pay me to think." His face became bright red, and I still can't believe he didn't hit me. We didn't meet our newly scheduled output that day or any other day that summer. I never got my raise, but couldn't afford to quit. About 1 year after I left, they moved the entire facility to a new location with a 4 times bigger footprint. They probably could have gotten by with the old facility for several more years if they had just given me $1.50 per hour raise for 2 months. Or bothered to pay attention to what I was doing. The next story is called Dishwasher Complies with a Stupid Manager. I was a dishwasher for a local pizza joint. Not the most respectable of jobs, but hey, money is money. I'm a good worker. I show up 10 minutes early every day, never take off, and I get things done. I can put up with a lot of nonsense, but this place was getting to me. One thing after another. Most importantly, the manager was the most snarky, condescending man I've ever met. I have IBS issues, but it's never a problem because I use the bathroom before work. Today, I needed to use the restroom during work hours, which I don't usually do. I was in there for 10 minutes tops. The place was a ghost town. I didn't even have a fork to wash. I would literally stand there waiting for something to be used so I can clean it. I came out of the restroom and was curtly informed that I needed to clock out next time I used the restroom. What? Okay, fine. I laughed it off and said I would comply. I just wanted to continue my shift and mind my own business. And here is the fun part. The manager and assistant manager decided it would be a fun game to make fun of me. They are adults, mind you, hence the snarky condescending part. They were loudly talking behind my back, intentionally so I could hear them. They said something along the lines of, "Yeah, he thinks it's funny that I told them to clock out when they use the restroom." So I turned from what I was doing, literally standing there waiting for dirty dishes, and looked at them in disbelief. 2 grown men thought it would be funny to poke fun at the dishwasher. They look at me and say, "Isn't that funny?" I say, "No, I don't find this funny at all," and turn back to my incredibly busy post. The manager then proceeds to gleefully sing out, "Hey, I'm clocking out to use the restroom. I just want to let everyone know." This was typical for this guy. Last straw. Right as it was getting busy during dinner, when I would usually be swamped with dishes, I go to the manager. I say, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I was clocking out to use the bathroom." He was busy, so he just gave me the look of, "Okay, you can go potty now." I said I would be returning home to use the toilet at my house and that it shouldn't be a problem since I was off the clock. He started to argue and I just left. Not my problem since I was off the clock. Screw that guy. This happened a few months ago and I have a very wonderful job now with people who respect me. Thanks for watching so far. I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about the stories or the video in general in the comment section below. The third story is called The Morale Really Improved. My buddy and I were hired to be a glorified help desk support handholders for a special project. Senior management at a large corporation had their laptops upgraded, including new software they had never used and major upgrades of software they had previously used. We are talking maybe 20 people spread across 3 buildings downtown, all within walking distance of each other. My job was to sit in an office and take calls for any issue, and I mean any issue that popped into their head. The only thing more entitled than senior management are the admin people. My buddy's job was to actually go to their desk and hold their hand with whatever issue they had. After the first couple of weeks, things settled down and we received very few calls. So my buddy was sitting at some desk, doing nothing. After a few days, one of the admin assistants complained that he was doing nothing. Bad influence on those around him. We asked for a different desk, but none was to be found. He tried looking busy, writing up documentation. The same person complains again, saying his job is support, so if he is not supporting, everyone knows he is doing nothing. And that looks bad, and is bad for morale. What the heck? He technically doesn't even work for your company. So I realized that our service level agreement said we had to respond within 30 minutes. It was always much less, especially if he was in the building. So I told my buddy to go shopping, sit in Starbucks and read the paper. No one but me knew where my buddy was at any time and I was the only one who dispatched him. So I said to my buddy, do whatever you want as long as you drop what you are doing and be at the person's desk within 30 minutes. And if they called for help, occasionally they would ask how long it would take. I would say, our SLA is 30 minutes, he will be there before then. Sometimes they would say, isn't he in the building? Whatever building the person was calling from, I would say he is in the other building, furthest from him. And they would never check with anyone at the other building, they really had no way of knowing where he was, only I did. That was my job. So my buddy went to the movies, went clothes and shoe shopping, sat in the park and so on. The busybody admin assistant called about a problem one day and said, I never see him at his desk anymore. Where is he? I said, he is much busier now. His morale, and I'm sure your staff's morale, must be much better now. No one ever found out about our malicious compliance. The managers he helped loved him and wanted him to stay on. He said no, until they tripled what he was making. About a year later, he was made a manager, and about 6 months after that, he had that admin assistant fired. The morale really improved around there after that. The last story is called The Light Had Left Her Eyes. I've had the same job for 2 years now, in a flower shop. I've worked with almost the exact same workers, done the exact same job 5 days a week. So I'm pretty confident I can make certain judgment calls on what to do when I'm not faced with 100 unprocessed flowers. Even coming back to work after 2 months of quarantine barely changed my confidence. My supervisor seemed to disagree. After I had finished making rose bouquets for the floor, there wasn't much else to do, other than tying and packing the lace that just came in. Or wait for my boss to come back from his meeting to know what else he wanted prepped for the sales floor. Obviously, I started tying lace. My supervisor Cheryl almost immediately stopped me and asked what I was doing. After I responded, she said, "We don't need those yet, so don't do those. Just wait for me to tell you what to do next time, or ask me first before you do anything." Anything? Yes, anything. I shrug, shuffle my feet and decide to have some fun. I ask her what she needs done. And she wants me to tie a different type of lei. Okay, deal. I tie the lace. Do you want me to pack these or do something else? She looks at me like I'm stupid, then tells me to pack them. What container do you want them in? The same they always go in. Go figure. I pack them. Do you want me to leave these on this table or put them on the floor? Leave them on the table. Okay, so what should I do next? And so on, with almost every variety lei we carry. At one point, she asked me to pack the dyed orchid leis, but put them in smaller containers for a specific store, so we don't have to repack them from the medium container later. So, do you have like a specific number in mind? 3 of each, 10 total, specific numbers for each color. I knew at that moment I got her, cause it was like the light had left her eyes as she told me 3 of each. Which is what we usually do. She hasn't given me any flack since then whenever I find something for me to do. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye bye.